Hello everyone, today I'm going to be sharing with you my Christian metal record collection. And I've recently got quite a few new albums, so even if you've seen my old record collection video, this is going to have a lot of new stuff in it. And to start things off, I've got Becoming the Archetypes, Children of the Great Extinction, which I've got to say is a very cool album name. But yeah, overall this is a good album. I'm definitely happy to have it in my collection. And next, I've got Fit for a King's Creation Destruction. Say what you will about Fit for a King's newer material, but this album is so good. I would go as far as saying it's my personal favorite metalcore album. And I'm so glad they did a vinyl pressing of this. The variant I got is pretty cool too. And next, the absolute classic, Saving Grace, The King is Coming. This is a really solid metalcore, hardcore album. While Saving Grace has said some interesting stuff lately that makes me a little bit concerned about their future as a band, this album is just absolute gold. And next, my album of the year for 2022, Wolves at the Gates album, Eulogies. The way they did the variants for this one too is really nice, because you have the orange one here with side A and B, this completely clear one for side C and D, and then next, an absolute classic, Horde, Helig Usvart. Now sadly, this is not the original pressing, this is the 25th anniversary edition, but this is a really cool record to have, and I feel like it's almost a must-have for anyone that listens to Christian black metal. Now here I've got Songs of Loss and Separation from Times of Grace. This is a very interesting album for me. It's a bit of a softer one and not something I would normally listen to. But I think just the lyrics and the overall emotion on this release make it something I really enjoy. If you've not heard this album, I would definitely recommend you check out To Carry the Weight and Rescue. And next up, I've got, interestingly enough, a compilation album. This one actually has a bit of a story behind it. So this is The Bitter Taste of Lost Years from Resuscitation Records. If you watch For the Rock or Kingdom Core or any other accounts like mine, you may have seen this. They're a new Christian hardcore label and they've got some really great bands. You've got I Am the Vine, Collapse Revive, Plead the Widow's Cause, Intercessor, and so much more. It also comes with this booklet with like a biography for each band they have on here, which I think is really cool for a compilation album just because you kind of get a sense of each band you're listening to. But yeah, thank you so much Resuscitation Records for sending this to me. I'll have links to the compilation and the record in the description. Next up, I've got Death Rattle Sing For Me by Norma Jean. Norma Jean is one of those bands you can't really go wrong with. I think this was a pretty solid album for them. And next is Bloodied Unbowed by O Sleeper. I might go as far as saying my favorite from O Sleeper. I like how with this you've kind of got the sleeve here and then you pull it off and you get the actual album art. I think that's pretty cool. And now The Undertaking, Funeral Psalms. I really enjoyed this album when it first came out, and if you're into like sort of Norma Jean knocked loose style metalcore, then this is probably going to be for you. And next, The Path by Fit for a King. I pre-ordered this one, I'm happy to have a copy. And while I listened to it a lot when it came out, it honestly has not stuck with me that much. There are good songs on here, it just gets old kind of fast. And next is Diatheke. And I definitely recommend if you haven't heard Diatheke giving them a try. But at this point they've been around for a couple of years and they're one of the more intricate and consistent bands out there right now. Now next up I have a couple albums that could be considered Christian adjacent. Because the creator of these albums has later said they weren't Christian. But from everything I've heard and reading the lyrics, it really seems like they were meant to be that at the time. First is the 25th anniversary edition of the self-titled Circle of Dust. And next is just the self-titled Circle of Dust. Circle of Dust is my personal favorite industrial metal project. But at any rate, having said that, that about concludes my Christian metal record collection. But I'd be curious to know, do you know any of these albums? What are your favorites? Anyway though, that's all I have for you today. If you did enjoy this video, feel free to like and subscribe. Definitely check out Resuscitation Records. Thanks so much for watching, and see you guys later.
Sacrifice, but till they never open their eyes. Rest to the cloud, built of a child, raise their right.